Hello students, in the previous class we have seen the ideal gas equation. Today let us discuss about Graham's law of diffusion. So coming to here, generally diffusion. So let us see first of all what is diffusion. So here the spontaneous, it is a spontaneous intermixing of, so what we can say here, the spontaneous, the immediate mixing we can say. So the spontaneous intermixing, okay, spontaneous intermixing of non-reacting gases to form a homogeneous mixture is known as what here? Diffusion. Okay, so what is diffusion we can say? This is a spontaneous intermixing. If you react with two non-interreacting gases, means what here? Non-reacting gases means N2 and one more will be here some Cn. Cn is also a gas cyanide. Okay, so when you are reacting with two, for example, I am taking N2 is a gas and Cn, cyan. So when you are reacting, what happens? They will form a CN3. So means this is a spontaneous reaction we can say. Okay, so means what? We are reacting two gases, non-reacting gases, which will be a immediate reaction going to happen. That one we call it as what? Diffusion. Okay, so gases diffuse from high pressure to the low pressure. Gases diffuse from high pressure to the low pressure we can say. Okay, so coming to here, the volume of gas, when you are taking volume of gas that diffuses in unit time, that one we call it as rate of diffusion of the gas. Okay, so what we can say here, the volume of gas, the volume of gas V that diffuses in unit time is known as what? Rate of diffusion, denoted by R. Okay, so coming to here, what I have told you, rate of diffusion is nothing but volume per time. This one we call it as rate of diffusion. So coming to here, it is having units. The units will be here cc per second. Okay, so this is nothing but we have spoken up to diffusion. So now let us see what is Graham's law of diffusion. So Graham's law of diffusion is nothing but here at a constant temperature and pressure. So generally at constant temperature and pressure, number of moles is equals to volume. That one we call it as what here? Avogadro's law. So coming to here, at a constant temperature and pressure, at a constant temperature and pressure, the rate of diffusion. So that's why I have told you here rate of diffusion. So what we can say, the rate of diffusion of a gas is inversely proportional to rate of diffusion of a gas is inversely proportional to what? Inversely proportional to its density or molar mass or vapor density. So what we can say according to Graham's law. So this is about Graham's law definition. Okay, so what is Graham's law? Graham's law is nothing but here at constant temperature and pressure, the rate of diffusion of a gas is inversely proportional to square root of its density, we can say. So rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to square root of its density, or we can say R is inversely proportional to molar mass, or we can say R is inversely proportional to vapor density, square root of the vapor density. Okay, so this is nothing but Graham's law. If you're considering two gases, okay, if we are considering two gases, so then we are going to, so what we can say here, for two gases at same conditions like temperature and pressure, so we are going to get R1 by R2 is equals to root over D2 by D1. So means what, D1 by D2, it will go upside, means D2 by D1 we are going to get. Okay, and also here VD2 by VD1 vapor density, or we can write M2 by M1. So this can be, so generally what is rate of diffusion? Rate of diffusion is volume per time. So this all equals to what here? Volume by time. Rate of diffusion is nothing but volume by time. So by this what we can say, at similar conditions of temperature and pressure, if the time of diffusion is same, means the diffusion is same for two different gases. If you are taking two different gases, then R1 by R2 is equals to V1 by V2, and also equal volume. If you, here we are taking time, if there will be equal volume, this is for similar time, this is for similar volume. Okay, R1 by R2 is equals to T2 by T1. Okay, so means what here, we can write it as like this. If you are taking gases at different pressure and same temperature, at different pressure and same temperature, then you are going to get R1 by R2 is equals to P1 by P2 into M2 by M1. Okay, so under similar conditions, what we can write here? Under similar conditions, we are having W1 by W2 is equals to root over M1 by M2 into T1 by T2. So this is a different pressure and same temperature at similar conditions, we are going to get this one. Okay, so coming to here, lighter gases. So lighter gases diffuses faster, we can say. What we can say? Lighter gases diffuse rapidly than heavier gases. So means what we can say here, we are going to have effusion definition. So when a diffusion of a gas at high pressure into low pressure or vacuum, which is having a small hole, that one we call it as effusion. Diffusion is different, effusion is different. So coming to here, what we can say here, the diffusion of a gas at high pressure into low pressure or vacuum through a small hole. In space, what happening? At high pressure and low pressure, it is having a small hole which is producing small hole. That one we call it as, what means here? Effusion. Okay, this is what here? Effusion. Then what is diffusion? Diffusion is nothing but intermixing of two non-reacting gases which will form a homogeneous mixture, we call it as diffusion. So whenever in a space the hole is forming at high pressure, whenever the high pressure is changing into low pressure, that one we call it as effusion. So Graham's law of diffusion is also applicable to effusion, we can say. So how means here we are going to have separation of the component gases from a gaseous mixture based on difference. What we can say here, in the rate of diffusion we call it as atomolysis. What we can say, the separation of the components. When you separate the components, okay, for example CH3, C, carbon, so H2 and 2. So like this, those type of, when you separate those gases, from where you are separating? From a gaseous mixture. So when you are from this, it has formed, if you have been seen here, CN, I have given you example in the diffusion. See here, CN3. So I am separating gases from here in a mixture. Okay, that is nothing but component. Okay, component gases from a gaseous mixture based on the difference. Based on the difference in the rates of diffusion, we call it as what? Diffusion, we call it as atomolysis. Okay, so this is nothing but what we can say. So this is nothing but Graham's law. Okay, so here marsh gas we are having in the same way. Ensil's alarm works on the diffusion property of gases, we are going to say. So what we can say here, marsh gas or Ensil's alarm works on the principle of diffusion property of gas. Okay, so this is about Graham's law of diffusion, effusion and diffusion. So now let us see about applications here. So coming to here, applications of diffusion. So applications of diffusion is nothing but what here? It will determine the, what is the first application we can say here? In the detection of marsh gas in coal mines. So this is one of the application we can say. And also in the separation of gas mixture. Okay, and also in the separation of isotopes we can take. Sorry for the disturbance. So sorry for the disturbance, students. In the separation of gas mixture we can say. In the separation of isotopes. Isotope is nothing but same atomic number but different mass number, we call it as isotopes. Okay, so here uranium you can take. Uranium is separated from uranium fluoride. Okay, in diluting poisonous and foul smelling gases also. When we get poisonous smell, for that also it is going to use. So what we can say here, in diluting poisonous and foul smelling gases, we can say, when we get poisonous smell anything, it can be diluted by through diffusion. And also to determine molecular weight and also density of gases, the diffusion is used. So what we can say, in the determination of molecular weight and densities of gases. So this is nothing but what here? This is nothing but Graham's law of diffusion. Okay, so Graham's law of diffusion, what we have told, at constant temperature and pressure, the rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to square root of the density or molar mass or vapor density. We call it as Graham's law. Okay, so coming to here, we have discussed about effusion and also application. So now let us see about Dalton's law of partial pressures. So let us see what is Dalton's law of partial pressure. So what is next one? Dalton's law of partial pressure here. The Dalton's law of partial pressure is nothing but here the total pressure, okay, the total pressure which is exerted by mixture of gases, that one will be equal to what here? Sum of the partial pressure of component gases present in the mixture. What we can say? What is Dalton's law? We can say the total pressure exerted by a mixture of gases is equals to what here? Is equal to the sum of partial pressure of component gases present in the mixture. This one we call it as what here? This one we call it as a Dalton's law. So means what here? The total pressure. The P indicates total pressure of exerted by a mixture of gases. So this one will be equals to what? Sum of the partial pressure of the component gases present in the mixture. Okay, so means what? A plus B plus C gives rise to ABC product. In the same way here the P. So here the total pressure which will be exerted by a gases. So it will be divided into like this. So P1, P2. So it will be giving what here? Pressure. Okay. So this is nothing but what here? P is equals to P1 plus P2 plus P3. So here the partial pressure of a gas is the pressure exerted by that gas in the mixture of gases I am saying. Okay. So coming to here, the partial pressure of gas is always equals to the product of mole fraction and the total pressure of the mixture of gases also. So what we can say here? The partial pressure of a gas, okay, the partial pressure of a gas is equal to the product of its mole fraction and the total pressure of the mixture of gases. Means what here? The partial pressure P1 if you are taking, it is equals to what here? Whenever you are taking partial pressure of a gas, it is a product of the mole fraction N1 by Ni by N into P. So product of the what here? That is P1 if you are taking only one partial pressure, mole fraction. Okay, so this is nothing but partial pressure. Total number of moles of all gases in the mixture, small n. This is P is nothing but partial pressure. Means what we can say by this? We can say also this is also equals to volume of gas by total volume into P. Volume of gas by total volume into P. Okay, suppose if you are taking two or more gases at different pressure which is occupying the different volume, that one is containing what here? What we can see, if two or more gases are at different pressure which is occupying different volume, means what we can say here? Then P total is equals to P1 V1 plus P2 V2 divided by V. Okay, and also we can calculate percentage of gas mixture also. Percentage of gas mixture. So percentage of gas mixture will be what here? Partial pressure divided by total pressure into 100. Okay, means this is about percentage of gas mixture we are going to calculate. If you take two different gases with equal masses, which are present in the mixture, then the gas with low molecular weight has more partial pressure. What we can say here, if two different gases with equal mixture are present in the mixture, so means what we can say, the gas with molecular weight means which is having low molecular weight has more partial pressure. So means what here, if you're taking two different gases like N2 plus O2, these two are the different gases, so these are having equal mixtures. Okay, so these are present in the what here, equal mixture. This is the mixture we are forming. So then what here, it is having low molecular weight, the gas which is having low molecular weight. Low molecular means it is having how much, it is having 14 and it is having 16, so it is getting totally 30. So this is the low molecular weight, it is going to have more partial pressure. Here the partial pressure what happens, increases. So this is the meaning of this. Okay, so in the same, if it is having different masses, here we are taking equal mixture means equal masses, so this is having equal mixtures. Coming to here, if suppose it is having different masses, it is having different molecular weight, but the volumes are here mixed, their partial pressures are same. So what we can say here, if two different gases with different masses and different molecular weights, so what happens here, but the volumes are mixed here. If it is having different gases, different masses, different molecular weight, then the what happens, but the volumes are mixed, then partial pressure will be same. Partial pressure is same. So means what here, what we can say here, NO is one gas, CO is, these two are different gases, or else O2 I have taken. So these two are different gases. So here coming to here, volume is going to mix. Okay, so by this what we can say, partial pressure is applicable for non-reacting gases mixtures only. So here partial pressure is only for non-reacting gases only. So means what we can say here, CO plus CO2 is a non-reacting gas, N2 plus O2 is non-reacting, H2 plus N2 is non-reacting, H2 plus CO is non-reacting, and also here O2. So these all are non-reacting gases, SO2 plus O2 and NO2 plus O2. Okay, so this will be not reacted for reacting gases. So here it is not applicable for what? It is not applicable for reacting gases, we can say. So what is reacting gases here? CO plus O2, NO plus Cl2, CO plus Cl2, H2 plus F2, NO plus O2, okay, and H3 plus HCl. So these are the reacting gases. It is not applicable. Dalton's law is not applicable for reacting gases. It is only applicable for what here? It is only applicable for not reacting gases. So we are having aqueous tension also. So let us see what is aqueous tension. Here aqueous tension is nothing but the pressure exerted by water vapor, okay, which is in equilibrium, with liquid water. We call it as what here? Aqueous tension. What is aqueous tension? Aqueous tension is nothing but the pressure which is exerted by water vapor in equilibrium with liquid water. That one we call it as aqueous tension, which is denoted by capital T here. So here the water insoluble gases generally collect over water and they become moist gases also. What we can say here? Whenever the water is insoluble. So here let us take P dry gas is equals to P moist gas minus F we can take. So aqueous tension is written by F. Okay. So means what here? These are water insoluble gases. So these are connected by moisture water. And they become what here? Moist gases. So that's why we call it as this one. So whenever the gas collected over water, if your gas is collecting water that is saturated, then the water vapor, with water vapor, that one we call it as moist gas. So what is moist gas? We can say here, a gas collected over water is saturated with water vapor. This one we call it as what here? This one we call it as moist gas. Okay. So and also here the volume of moist gas is generally measure of the atmosphere pressure. So what we can say here? The volume of moisture gas. Moist gas is measure of atmospheric pressure. So here the pressure of moist gas is equals to what we can say? Atmospheric pressure. So by this what we can say? Moist gas is equals to atmospheric pressure. Okay. So coming to here, the pressure of water vapor in the moist gas also we call it as what? So means what? The pressure of moist gas plus pressure of is equals to pressure of dry gas, aqueous tension. So by this what we can say? The pressure of water vapor in the moist gas is known as aqueous tension. So aqueous tension increases, the temperature also increases. So this is about Graham's law and Dalton's law. In the next class we can see the kinetic theory of gases. Thank you.